Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Amazing stuff that's happening today because we've got some rain that's much needed. A drought monitor, which comes out weekly, will be coming out this morning at 8:30, and you'll be able to find it on the Captain Accurate Weather app. This is the visibility. As I clear my throat, you can see a little bit of fog in some spots, and gray is at least the poor visibility in some areas up towards southeast or southwestern sections of Virginia and southeast Kentucky. Temperatures are very mild. I mean, again, on fire, so to speak, for this time of year, because last I checked, it's still February. It's February 6th. What's going on? It's 64 at my house, maybe 68 at your house if you're in Sevierville. You're thinking, this is crazy. In fact, they modified or bumped up the temperatures for highs yesterday. We thought it was 70. No, we hit 72 yesterday now. That was just 1 degree shy of the 2008 record, 73, back when George W. Bush was president. But we hit 72 yesterday. We hit 73 the day before. And all of this, again, happening in such a short period of time, given the fact that we had such a cold January. In fact, it was 6 degrees colder than normal in January in Knoxville this past month behind us. But I have some notes I want to share with you, or some comments that might be coming in. Steve Stone, usually quick on the comment. He says hello and good morning. His happy face and sunshine. May not see a whole lot of sun today, Steve, but I do think the umbrella will come in very handy. I got a note from Fred. Fred says, good morning, an amazing 63 degrees in Maryville in Blount County. And Wanda Post says, good morning, David, so glad you're here. Are there any bad storms on the way? There's actually a few tornado warnings in central and western Kentucky, which we'll look at here in a moment. But I wanted to let you know that we have the potential for some isolated severe storms today, but temperatures are part of the story. It is exceedingly mild. You could probably leave the jacket behind, and of course with the wind, which is the other part, that might make the jacket come in handy because like a little windbreaker, 17 miles an hour. That's the current wind speed at McGee Tyson. 12 in Jamestown, 7 in Crossville. So it will feel a little blustery. But here's an overview as we'll get into the details on the finer details, zooming in on radar in a moment. But this is the broad view, and I wanted to show you all that ice. Remember, we were talking about an ice storm across parts of interior Pennsylvania. There was an ice storm warning for parts of West Virginia, and western Maryland. Well, they've been bracing for that now for more than a day or so, and now they've been feeling the brunt of it now in pink. Most of that's trying to work its way to the east. Let me get to the radar. I'll delay no further. Some of you picked up some rain. Some of you will be getting more later tonight, but there is and still continues to be flashing in red just to the top left there. There are some tornado warnings for some of our neighbors in Kentucky. They're also under a tornado watch, if I'm not mistaken, and that would include places like McCreary County, also Whitley County. But if you zoom in or zoom back out, you can see there are a string of tornado warnings right now across central and west Kentucky, moving across the Commonwealth. And again, anyone in those paths will hopefully been notified by now, as a lot of the other weather venues in that region, I'm sure, are tackling this rather aggressively. But as far as we're concerned, we've got a couple of showers right now in Oak Ridge and Clinton. May not be raining in Kodak, but it is raining around Maynardville in central Union County. We extend northeast. Tazewell has some rain. Sharps Chapel has some rain right now. And we can keep on going right into Hancock County, right into places maybe just around Sneedville and Kyles Ford. Sneedville, of course, home of Morgan Wallen. Originally, that's his home. He's getting some rainstorms in his neck of the woods back there. And as far as what we see around Paulette, you can see areas around Clinton, Anderson County getting some rain at this point, but things will fill in over time. Again, these are going to be scattered showers today, but if you didn't get rain last night, there are more opportunities. I assure you, more opportunities will be coming in certainly the hours to come. I won't say days to come, but although we have some opportunities there too in the extended forecast. I got a note from Darcy. Hello, Darcy. She says, what is the timing of the storms? Well, is it just kind of circled, kind of highlighted, those who are getting the storms now, like Maynardville, they may not be that aggressive, but the afternoon is when we'll have more heating. We've got the heat already. Dew points are high. Temperatures are high. It's just a matter of just, preheating the oven and then waiting for something to pop. But certainly the opportunity for this will continue throughout the day today and into the afternoon. But I want to get to another view of this. This is a review over the last 8 hours. As I said, when you put your head on the pillow, there was not a tornado watch in southeast Kentucky. But around 6 in the morning, They just recently popped that into place. You can see it going from green to red. It was a flood watch, and then all of a sudden Monticello and Barberville suddenly went into a tornado watch mode. So there, again, it's not saying a tornado is going to occur in those areas, but the conditions are ripe and certainly juicy enough for the activity to develop, and that's what we're going to be watching closely. By the way, Marcos.com, a great place if you're like grabbing and wanting to grab afternoon lunch plans. They do get back to East Tennessee Children's Hospital. You got to love a community, a pizza establishment that gives back to the community, and that's what Marcos does. That's one of the reasons I love their pizza stuff. Fantastic. It's dynamite, but when you give a combination of giving back to the community, it's a win-win-win. Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville, they have locations in Fountain City, Halls, Oak Ridge, and Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road. They've got a magnificent pizza for less than $10. It's called the Magnifico, and for lunch ideas, you might consider the Pizzoli, which is delicious. The one picture on the top is my personal favorite. Pepperoni and sausage for less than $6. You could grab that at marcos.com. Tracking the clouds and radar, again, there's the overview with more clouds, but that mix in pink is what we avoided. We were actually dodged a bullet. We didn't have to have the sleet and freezing rain that they were working with. But clearly temperatures are warm now. They're not going to get too warm from where we are at the moment, because I believe we're at, 64. But 68 is what I expect to be today. It may just kind of flatline and hold fairly steady and then come back up. We'll see that with the planner. But as far as our temperatures in, say, Kingston, look for a high of 67. 70 in Tellico Plains, look for a high in Newport of 71 degrees. Right now, it's gusty. You can see at the bottom, wind gusts 28 miles an hour. Southwest wind at 17, and it's 64 degrees. This is our current reading, and I'm expecting wind gusts to be around 35. So it doesn't have much stronger winds to go. It could move up the anemometer. So basically, when we're measuring the wind speed, the gust right now at McGee is 28 miles per hour, McGee-Tyson. And as you go higher into the elevations, where you see the colors change, I'm looking at, say, Newfound Gap, Chimney Tops, some of those green areas that you see here in my little 3D animation here would include Mount LeConte, Chimney Tops, where the winds are in green. That's over 20, 30 miles an hour and could be estimated to be even stronger, I'm sure, on those tops of the mountains. I got 42 in some areas in the Smokies, 47. So like I said, we don't have a wind advisory, but from this standpoint, it's going to be a windy day. Even though there isn't one, maybe one should act or behave like there is, because it's going to be a gusty morning. And it will be particularly strong here in the morning compared to the afternoon, as we'll see. It's going to drop off a little bit as this system begins to try, the front anyway, pull away in time. It is 6:49. There's another look at our current temperature. It's not a misprint. It is 6:49 Eastern, and it's 69 degrees in Nashville. Something's weird. I mean, last I checked, normal high now is 51. 51 degrees. If it can be weird like this, can the pendulum swing? I'm talking about the weather pendulum later on this month. And you know the answer is yes. And when it is, boy, is it going to be abrupt. It's going to be like, I didn't see that coming. Well, did you see this coming? Because some people just want to enjoy, oh, it's 65. Of course it is. That should cause you some alarm, because if it could be low tide in the morning, it could be high tide in the afternoon. If it can be really warm this morning, it can be really cold after Valentine's Day. And it can be really cold by the time we get to President's Day, which, of course, Washington's birthday. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's a future wind gust animation. And you can see it looks like it's even stronger. Those winds projected in Jackson, Tennessee, 35, 38 up there. But these winds and the coloring starts to change as we head into the afternoon. Still gusty. It's not going to be calm today. But the strongest winds appear to be here in the morning, because this represents 3:30 and we're down to about 21. So some of the colors do change. Not as strong of a wind, but still gusty or breezy. And we'll continue to watch that as we head into tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, the winds are going to drop off quite a bit. I've got 5 to 10, say northeast, north-northeast, 5 to 10 tomorrow. But these wind gusts for tomorrow will not be as strong as they are today. So you can see it starts to drop off to 2s and 7s and 8s. So by midday tomorrow, the winds will finally slow down in a more pronounced way. All this energy that you see moving across West Virginia, Pennsylvania with the ice storm, those colder cloud tops are shaded in yellow, and that's where the ferocious winds are, and that's why they've got more concerns even downstream of it in Kentucky for tornado concerns. Sunrise and sunset is on your screen, 7:32, 6:09. Kind of curious to know what you're seeing. If you got a comment, would love to say good morning to you. Marilyn Bell says, travel safe, everyone. Keep both hands on the wheel for sure today. Thank you, Marilyn. Dawn Coleman says, bring on the cold and snow. She's not a big fan, I think. She's not a fan of when it's 64 in the morning. Something's not right. Something seems a bit askew. Lana Johnson says, did I hear yesterday was National Weatherman Day yesterday? You are our favorite. You know what? Thank you, Lana. I totally forgot. Yes, there is a connection to weather people and the 5th of February, because one of the famous observers' birthday was February 15th. It's all connected. But yeah, I totally forgot to even announce that it was, because I would have spiked the football if I remembered. But somebody online said, hey, by the way, did you know this is the Weatherman's Day? So it slipped my mind. But thank you for the words of confidence, Lana. Appreciate you very much. Elizabeth Ann Renner says, are we expecting tornadoes for further east of Greenville in the morning? We're not expecting tornadoes here. We are expecting some strong storms, but the energy will not be quite as strong. Clearly, we are not, I repeat, we are not under a tornado watch in Knoxville, and don't expect one to pop up. But we will be watching some of the stronger storms in places that are in western Kentucky this morning. As far as our bus stop forecast, temperatures in the 60s, they'll come home in the 60s. If we get a little hazy sun, oh, that would be a bonus. But I do think we're going to find plenty of clouds today, and the showers and storms will ebb and flow. You can clearly see from this animation, this is the bigger view, there's a strong line that's moving north of Bowling Green. And if it stops short, or maybe just south of Monticello, I think the velocity, or at least will not be as ferocious by the time they try to move into Tennessee. Most of that, again, is moving from west to east, but we'll keep an eye on it, and if things change, the Weather Service will be issuing that. That's another reason to have download the Captain Accurate Weather app, so you can be notified if your town is, in fact, under a concern. We talked about this yesterday. I mentioned from noon to about the time frame of this, from yesterday through today, they were concerned about ice. Ice was talking about freezing rain and sleet, and it's covering areas like Harrisburg, Philadelphia, Altoona. All of these areas are of concern for ice. So if you have family there, if you're traveling to Philadelphia, be extra careful. Not only do you have wind to work through here, but if you're getting up there and it's icy on the roads, you've got to be extra careful. More snow, though, for the Great Lakes. This should be a reminder that winter's not gone. It's just on vacation. And I try to beat that drum multiple times, but that's really where things are. And it's fog concerns in gray. I see parts of Louisiana, Panhandle of Florida, they've got some fog concerns this morning, but those dense fog advisories are pertained down there, or focused down there. See here, Wanda Poe is cheering on the big snow. She's got the big snow noted there. Her face, I'm going to move the strikes here. Sometimes it's a little distracting to have a picture there. But there's Wanda. Thank you so much, Wanda, for your support. And I got Darcy, Fred, Steve, and Elizabeth also on the call. So very thankful for all of you. It is 6:54. I got to keep moving. I got a lot to cover. We actually picked up 0.04 inches of rain since last night. That's just a start. But every drop helps, given the fact that we're under a drought. We averaged 4.81 inches. And by the time we hit the end of today, it would suggest that we're probably from 0.04 to 0.16. We could add a little bit more. It's not going to be a lot of rain, but it only doubled down tonight, because you can see the rain that's dropping down from the green areas, the lighter green. Most of the heavier rains will be in places like Oneida, Middlesboro, possibly even Jonesville. But as we head into the upcoming weekend, because this is Friday into Saturday, there'll be another round coming in Saturday night and into Sunday. And we've got more rain potential this next week, where I think the rain will be particularly heavy, developing to be heavy on Tuesday. So more to come. Showers and storms today. Not a whole day event, but certainly the possibility is there. I think the probability that you do get a shower or storm will be about 80%. Showers and storms again tonight. We'll double down, see more of that develop. Hazy sun and clouds on Friday, and I think we've got near record warmth on Saturday. Temperature Saturday should be around 72 degrees, the record high, 74 degrees, the record high is 75. Now, I did post this. I remind for those of you that are not on premium, which are many, but for those of you, I had indicated back on the 28th of October that we would see more, notice I put it in all caps, more warm spells than we get cold spells, and that we would be off to a fast start, and that we would have a few surprises. Now, an ice storm is kind of a surprise that didn't affect us, but I didn't expect Baton Rouge and Pensacola to get more snow than we have had, but that's the case. We had such a very warm November, had a record high on the 7th of November at 82 degrees. Then we had the fast start. Once we hit meteorological winter, the first day of December, we had a whole week of below normal temperatures, and our first snow, 0.7 inches. 0.7 inches occurred on the 11th of December, and then we had, of course, our quote-unquote big snow of 4.9 on the 10th of January, but January finished about 6 degrees below average. It was very cold January, but now we've all suddenly gotten warm again. And I do note that this is computer generated from the Weather Service, so initially they said 70, but then later this morning they said no, it's 72. So that'll be an update that will come tomorrow. 72 was Wednesday's high. Today, I expect we'll get up to about 68. So a record high was achieved Tuesday. We could come close on Saturday. And if you're looking for winter, if you're not a fan of 64 wake-up temperatures, go no further than New England, right? -3. That's pretty brutal. That's where they are in Caribou, Maine at this very hour. It's -1 in Bismarck, and those purple areas, focus on the purple. What does purple mean? Right now it means single digits, and in some cases it means sub-zero temperatures. So when I show you the next couple of maps, when that purple comes down to town to Knoxville, you'll be like, oh, is that coming here? Yes, probably by the 17th. 17th is after Valentine's Day, but before President's Day, so Washington's birthday. There will be a change. Fear not, if you're not a fan of Team Spring. Weather in February, some are not. Some are going to be like, I'll believe it when I see it. It's nice and warm. I'm going to stretch my legs and enjoy this warm weather. Absolutely. Each day is a gift. Every day we have is a gift, so enjoy it each as they come. But you'll notice by the time we move this clock forward into that time frame, this represents the 10th. Still kind of warm, maybe a little chilly in the mornings, but it's really not until we hit past Valentine's Day and really toward the 17th, it just gets brutal. If you need more evidence, let me just take this right through Valentine's, because, oh, it's warm. And then all of a sudden, you go, wait a minute, I see purple. If that's single digits, I'm not too thrilled. What time is that? That's 8 o'clock on the 17th. Set your calendar. I mean, if this is coming, how far in advance do you want to know it's going to come? I'm telling you, winter's going to come back. And people are like, yeah, it came back. He was right. Yeah, please know that this will be cold air coming back for the second half, or at least part of the second half of the month. It is a short month, 28 days, but this cold air, look at that. That's 3:15 in the afternoon on Monday. Now, these are 5,000-foot temperatures, but when it's that cold aloft, 5,000 feet is about the height of Newfound Gap. It's not that high, but I mean, think about it. You could drive to Newfound Gap. But these are the temperatures that are very helpful for meteorologists in determining what our surface temperature is going to eventually be. And it's brutal. It's going to be very, very cold going into February 17th or thereabouts. Here's my valley planner. No cold air to talk about today. Showers and storms, 80% chance, plenty of clouds and gusty winds. Average high now is 51. Chance of rain 80% today and tonight. 30% on Saturday, and that might be generous, but I do think the heavier rains will come back Monday into Tuesday, particularly Tuesday afternoon, where we could get some downpours. Storm Prediction Center, yeah, we're in the isolated. Well, that's where we are. Isolated severe storms are possible in East Tennessee today. This has all been modified and updated by the Storm Prediction Center. So this is not my map, although it's my animation of the map. But this is where they place the darker green areas. It's essentially everybody. Tellico Plains might be on the doorstep, but generally everybody's fair game today and tonight for some rough and tumble thunderstorms. They could be isolated, but I think winds will be, damaging winds, straight line winds will be perhaps the bigger issue. Severe weather risk on Friday is non-existent, and we are severe free and thunder free on Saturday. Nothing to see here on Saturday. So here's the futurecast. It's now 6:59. You'll notice all this rain is coming in by the front. And once it stays here, it's going to eventually move southeast of us. So it'll dry things out on Friday. That's a good sign. We'll get a little more sun, hazy sunny cloud. But then once we go into Saturday, this front kind of meanders. We've got a little bit of rain on Saturday that lifts back to Kentucky. And it's just like a ping pong match. It's just watching these fronts go up and down, crossing us, and trying to time it out for your convenience. But I can tell you this, if you are a fan of cold air, you just got to wait another week or so, because about 10 days, 11 days from now, it could be vastly different. Showers and storms today, 68 clouds, gusty winds, and there we've got a 28-mile-an-hour gust right now. So being around 35 plus shouldn't surprise many of you, but I do think the strongest winds are in the morning. High temperature 69 in Maryville, expecting 69 in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and 67 in Morristown. High temperatures if you're traveling should be in the low 70s for Atlanta, 73 from Memphis, but much cooler in Lexington. They should reach 61 later today. Here's your forecast for tonight. 47, more showers and storms develop. Again, this is not a perpetual or continuous rain, but when it rains, it can pour when it's this warm. And winds tonight, 5 to 15, they'll drop off a little bit. But tonight we're down to 45 Kingston, 46 for Morristown, White Pine, Seymour, and about 45 for Maynardville and Sharps Chapel, Campbell County, 43 and 44 Oneida. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast. It's 7:01 as we wrap things up. 61 on Friday, 74 on Saturday. Another round coming in Saturday night. But by and large, most of Sunday, no problem. Most of Friday, no problem. It's really the evening hours and the nighttime, overnight periods. That's why I'm trying to focus on where that chance of rain will be most noticeable. But I do think Monday and Tuesday will be the next unsettled pattern next week, but it will not be snow. It'll be rain as we've got some warmer air still lingering. It just gets a little chillier perhaps later on in the week. Well, anyway, if you've got any comments, let me know. I know I've gone a little bit long today, but Wanda Poe is on here, Marilyn Dawn, as well as Lana Johnson. Thank you for all your input. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.